Hey, what's up, my Dragon Legion? How y'all been? Shout out Dragoons. Today we're gonna be doing a CardFight Vanguard deck profile of my current Kagero DOTX deck profile. Now, as you Dragoons know, this has been a deck that I fell in love with, and this is a deck that's been kind of my go-to deck when it comes to competitiveness and more seriousness when it comes to Vanguard. It's current, as I just said, it's one of my more favorite decks. I love the fact how this deck does heavy retirement on my opponent's board, while giving my Vanguard the constant ability to just stand right back up, attack again, which is very awesome, very amazing, and really love this deck so much for. Now, after this deck profile right here, I'm going to be taking a break of doing deck profile of this deck because I don't want to keep on showcasing the same Vanguard deck over and over. I want to showcase you Dragoons other Vanguard decks, and I don't want you Dragoons to be constantly bored with the same deck profile all the time. It's not really fair to you Dragoons. A lot of you Dragoons really want to see other Vanguard decks besides just the same exact deck over and over. So I got some Norikamis and other Kagero decks that I do plan on featuring on this channel very shortly, very soon. So after this deck profile right here, I'm going to be taking a break from this deck profile and moving forward to other deck profiles. But you may see this deck in Vanguard fights here and there on this channel or other people's channels, but most likely after no more deck profiles of this deck right here for a little while, just until we get more content going for other stuff going and such. And also, I want to let Dragoons know real quick, I've actually done a couple of changes, quite a bit of changes actually to this deck since the last time we've done a deck profile on this deck. And yeah, it may seem a little odd, a little weird compared to what most of you Dragoons are normally used to seeing of a straight up good DOTX deck profile. But trust me, this build actually has been functioning very well. I just took this my last few locals, and I took first place so many times with this deck. With this build style of this deck. It's so insane right now. So yeah, let's get with that being said, let's move on straight to the deck profile right now. Shout out Dragoons. And for those of you who are just here to net deck, I'll leave the link in the description down below for those of you to check out the deck build right here. For those of you who are here to net deck and such, I only ask of you to like the video and before you leave on your way. So with that being said, let's get on started. Alright, start off with your starting Vanguard. Still playing the one Lizard Soldier Fargo. I really love Fargo. Fargo is just a really nice card for this deck right here. He can, as long as your Vanguard has the word Overlord's name, you can put him in your solo Vanguard at any time you want during your turn, during your call phase. So it's very nice. And after he does that, your Vanguard gets the ability of whenever his attack is on hit, you retire one, which is very nice, very powerful, and it can get around some really annoying things, and it's definitely really a handful when you put this in the soul of your Dragonic Overlord The Ace, or when you get some serious plays going with your X going as well. And another thing I really like about this guy is if he's ever retired by whatever reason, or when you soul blast him after you put him back in your decks, when you leech him back into your deck, you can always leech him back into your deck, or when you're playing against Gear Chronicle and Gear Chronicle time leaves him, whatever such, you can then eventually draw into him or drive check into him and get him back to hand. And when that happens, you can always use him as either an extra 10,000 shield to defend off some attacks, or my favorite part about him is just call him to rear guard circle and just reuse his ability all over again. It's really funny how you can just do that. Like just doing that, I've done that like twice the past few tournaments I've been into, and it is hilarious what you can do with him when you get him going. So yeah, one Fargo's good. And then for the trigger lineup, we have, of course, your 4 heals. No explanation needed why the heals are in your 4. And most of you Dragoons are normally used to me playing the 6 draws, 6 critical lineup. And I actually changed that up quite a bit. Instead of playing 6 draws, 6 critical, I am playing a much different, weirder, but yeah, a more aggressive style of critical lineups. And it's not even 8 crits. I am playing a grand total of not even 10 crits, but a total of 12 crits total. Now, bear with me. This does seem a little heavy duty. This does seem a little bit taking things to extreme, but this covers exactly the same thing that I've been trying to cover with my Vanguard decks for a while, but slightly better. This gives me the option as being very aggressive and go in for the kill a lot faster and a lot easier, while still allowing me to be on the defensive thanks to 10,000 shields, so I can block out the attacks a lot. And I am playing quite a bit of cards that give me draw power, while also I have the triple drive checks that covers the additional drives that the draw triggers were in there for. So this covers what the draw triggers were there for, and I was able to go in game, hit some heavy damages, get likely to hit those triple criticals whenever you go for strides or anything that are such. A lot easier, a lot faster, going for games, all that such. Now, if something happens where I do go, we need to circle back to draw triggers, I can always take these guys out to play 4 draws with Dragonic Claw Dragons, and there's 8 criticals. Try maybe do that, but for right now, the moment, I'm really digging the 12 crits right now. Maybe something happens where it'll push me back to doing the 8 crits and 4 draws, but for right now, the moment, the 12 crits seems to be working very fine with me. And before I go any further, I want to confess for something real quick. This was not my original idea. This was actually mentioned by one of my friends down in my locals who plays Tatsukaze's. He admitted that he was playing 12 crits, and when we talked about it, about his trigger lightning ball and such, and he said to me, "Hey, why don't you try that idea yourself? It might really work." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll try it out." And yeah, it's been working out very well. And to the person who is to that Tatsukaze player I'm talking about, sir, if you're watching this video, thank you very much for giving me that suggestion, that idea. I've been really digging it a lot, and it means a lot to me. Thank you very much. And that's it for the trigger lineup. Now for the grade 1s, we have, of course, your 4 perfect guards. No explanation, especially these ones, the unflipped ones. I don't think I really need explanation with these guys right here. And then next up, we have 3 lava flow dragons, your instant strike flotters. Normally I would play 4 of these guys, but I ended up cutting down to 3 because there are some other grade 1s I wanted to play besides just a lava flow dragon, and I didn't want to lose too many consistency. And I am playing 9 grade 3s total instead of 3, so the 9th grade 3 covers what the original job of the 4th lava flow dragon is. So yeah, only 3 lava flows is all I need, and I actually get. And despite me playing only 3 of them, I still get my lava flows to my hand a lot faster and a lot smoother to my hand than I expected. And yeah, I was able to instant strike quite a bit, even just at 3. And then next up, the reason why I took out the 4th lava flow dragon is so I could play a 3rd copy of Dragon Monk Gojo's. Dragon Monk Gojo has become a lot more useful ally than I thought he would ever be. Just the ability to rest the pitch a card, draw a card by just resting him is very helpful, very useful. Can help me get a lot of rounds of clutches, especially when I need some cards to discard so I can Legion a lot easier, or so I can do some combos with Dragonic Burnout, all that great such. And of course, just straight up general of getting more access to draw power. So yeah, 3 Dragon Gojos is definitely essential, at least in my perspective. And then finish all the grade 1s, 3 Calamity Tower Wyverns. No explanation of this cute little guy. Soul Blast to draw 1 card when it's called Rearguard Circle. Give you some cards that you can just Legion back into your deck, and of course more cards give you some draw power, all that great stuff. So Calamity Tower Wyvern, still a great card nonetheless. And that's it for the grade 1s. Now for the grade 2s. Now the grade 2s look pretty odd as well. And I'll explain what's going on with grade 2s as well. For grade 2s, still playing the 4 Burnouts. No explanation why Burnout is good in this deck right here, especially this is an Overlord based deck. So why would you? So unless you have a legit excuse of that you don't have any Burnouts or anything, etc. as such, why would you not play Max Burnouts? Like, unless you have legit reason and such, because Burnout is just so great, amazing what he can do with this deck right here. By mere cause of Soul Blast in 1 card, you can put a discard Overlord from Draft Zone back in your deck and pop anyone rear guard of your choice. Now this is where things get weird, so bear with me. Instead of playing 4 of these guys, I ended up cutting Burning Horde Dragon down to 2. Now the reason why I'm doing so is because 12k attackers haven't really been cutting too well for me as of late, and I haven't been able to be able to make some great successful hits with the 12k attackers as of late, which is not a bad thing. 12k attackers are still very great useful cards. But with this deck right here, I feel like 12k attackers haven't been able to do its job just as well. So right now, at the moment, I'm only playing 2 Burning Horde Dragons right now. And thanks to the draw power I'm doing and the triple drive mechanic going on and such, I actually do see the 2 Burning Horde Dragons a lot often than I thought I would ever did. Even more when I was playing him at 4. So 2 Burning Horde Dragons is still just as great as he would be at 4. And then only 2 Neo Flame Dragons. Neo Flame Dragon is still a great card besides just being the mate for your Dragonic Overlord the Great. Just the ability where if a rear guard in front of him on your opponent's board is retired, you can counterblast 1, retire another rear guard in front of him. It's still a very useful ability. This allows you to set up for a lot of combos, a lot of plays, where you can just do some heavy retirement plays. And Of course, worst case scenario, if you can't use his ability, he's always good as being your mate for the great. And the reason why, and one more reason why I'm playing 2 ends and only two Neoflames, is because I am putting 3 copies of this one card that I'm currently using, and it is actually, to my surprise, currently doing great wonders right now. And that is 3 copies of Twilight Arrow Dragon. Twilight Arrow Dragon is just one of those underrated underdog cards that no one expects seeing in a deck like this. Twilight Arrow Dragon is just a lot more useful, a lot more versatile than a lot of people will give credit for in a straight up DOTE deck or DOTX deck. Just the ability where GB1, while he's attacking Vanguard and being boosted by Kagero Rearguard, fellow Rearguard, you can counterblast 1 and retire any of your opponent's grade 2 or less Rearguards. It's definitely very helpful. Not only it's another card that allows you to have access to 7 more combos, it's another card that can help you pop out some Rearguards and get rid of some annoying Rearguards you don't want to deal with. So yeah, and this is an ability that activates even before your opponent decides if he or she wants to guard or not. So this gets rid of those special intercepts. If your opponent's playing one of those old school decks, it gets rid of Silent Times, all that great stuff. So Twilight Arrow Dragon is pretty good, and yeah, I really like Twilight Arrow Dragon right now. Twilight Arrow Dragon right now, the moment. Wow, I can't speak English today. So yeah, that's what's up with my grade 2s right now, the moment. I'm really digging the grade 2s. And now for the grade 3s. I'm only playing 1 copy of Dragonic Overlord The Great. The Great hasn't really been as great, no pun intended, as I thought it was going to be. But I still play the 1 copy of the Great just in case. Just in case if I need another Burnout target, if I need additional Legion target. And there has been times where, in case if I don't get into my X's, I'll conveniently have this guy in my hand, and I can always just ride into him and steal my other guys, which is not a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I mean, he still does his job pretty well, and he still does allow me to do what I want him to do now and then. But there are some other cards I'd rather have in my hand better than him. But nonetheless, when I do get to him, he allows me to have additional Legion target, and just having the ability to pop out rear guards by attacking. And if you get lucky while he's in Legion or whatever, if you have another Neoflame Dragon as rear guard circle that you not gonna need no more, he's always great for that, because you can just pop out Neoflame to pop out another rear guard you don't want to deal with. And yeah, the Great is still a useful card, but I feel like there are some other options in playing 2 Greats, and I'll show you what the substitute for the second Great was right now. And you know how most DOTX players normally play 3 The Ends? Well, with me, I'm currently back to playing 4 The Ends. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Christian, why are you playing 3 Ends? I mean, not 3 Ends. Why are you playing 4 The Ends and only 1 The Great? The Great is better than the End. Well, technically, yes. The Great is better than the End. But keep in mind, your X is your idea key card, and you need this guy as the mate with the X in order to be able to use the X's Legion ability best you possibly can. Now, I've been doing a lot of further test playing, and back when I was playing only 3 Ends, I've been having plays where 2 of them would be in my damage, and then I would still Legion into my third X. But with no 4th X or whatever, while these guys were in my damage, I was not able to use the End Persona Blast ability and not have a 4th End to search out. And that's been hurting me quite a bit, so by bumping this guy back up to 4, it's been helping my plays a lot, quite a bit, and it's been helping me do a lot of things that I want to do. So, plus, for 2 other reasons. One, I'm a die-hard End player, and I'm one of those people who love the End so much where I had to play 4. And also, we're in an era of Vanguard, we're going to be striding quite a bit. So, even if you ride into him and still your Great or the X, it's not the end of the world. You can still always get off a early Persona Blast out of him, or get to a early stride, and that can also help you out with some good things here and there. And lastly, of course, your idea, heart and soul of the deck. 4 copies of Dragonic Overlord The X. No explanation this guy does. Mate is the End. When you Legion, you get a copy of him and him from your deck to your hand. And while they're both in Legion, while he's in Legion like so, you can use his Persona Blast ability if your attack is hit, and use his Persona Blast ability when his attack is not hit. Heavy retirement, standing right back up. What more could you ask for a deck like this? So, yeah, this is a very fun deck and a very aggressive, heavy duty, heavy powered deck that you do not want to mess around with. And that is it for the main deck. Now for the stride deck, if you want to call it a stride deck. For the stride deck, we play 2 copies of the Aces. I actually had thought about playing 4 Aces, but right now the moment the Ace is very expensive right now, so 2 Aces is just fine, just for right now. Now I'm not too sure if I would play any more copies of the Ace. I'll have to ponder about that. Excuse me. I'll have to ponder about that. But 2 Aces alone does a job just fine, and every time I strode into the Ace, it was almost a guaranteed game winner. Like only once or twice did I not win when I strode into Ace. Every other time when I strode into the Ace, it was practically game over for my opponent right there. Just the ability where he stands right back up after his first attack, being the only stride that can do that, except for like maybe 1 or 2 in particular, and that's it. It's a very powerful, heavy-duty ability that not too many people can really handle and really deal with. And yeah, the Ace is just a really aggressive, heavy-duty card, and just the ability where he just stands right back up after his first attack. He's done with his first attack, regardless if his attack is hit or not, is very powerful and something that you don't want to deal with. So yeah, Ace. Now the only thing that sucks about the Ace is that his ability is kind of costly. The Camel Blast tune in Persona Flip 1 is not too bad. I don't mind that. It's a part where he loses 1 drive check, which is kind of fair because he has a stride to stand right back up, and you do have to pitch some cards in order to stand right back up in order for him to attack 1 more time. So, but again, it is worth it when you're definitely going for a game. So, Ace is a very heavy-duty card. I really like this guy right here, and the fact that he gets stronger right after he stands right back up when he attacks 1 more time is just wow, wildfire right there. So yeah. 2 Aces, that's the way to go right now. Maybe I'll play the 4 Aces, I'm not 100% sure. I'll ponder about that. And then next up, for Root Flare Dragons, because it's Root Flare, probably the best go-to stride guy for most Kagero decks in general, at least in my opinion it is, or Natural Fact, however you want to view at it. And then the last 2 cards for the strides, 1 Divine Dragon Zahm, and 1 Divine Dragon Mahmud. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Christian, those 2 cards aren't too good. You should be playing this guy instead. Honestly, while technically on paper these guys aren't as good as, what's his name again? They're not as good as Mustafi. But in actuality, these cards are actually not as bad as people give them credit for. These cards are actually pretty good. First of all, by playing 1 more of these guys, you have additional cards to stride into just in case. Second, with this guy, your opponent's not always going to have a rear guard, heavy set of rear guards, so he's good for that. And third, when your opponent does have a heavy set of rear guards, you can have this card going. Now, this is the combo card I was talking about earlier. Every time I strode into this card, this guy will just allow me to set up for some huge combos with Twilight Arrow Dragon, Neo Flame Dragon, your Fargo, as we were talking about earlier, and your Twilight Arrow Dragon. And yeah, this guy can just set you up some huge combos. If the combo's done right with his ability and with only a few cards assisting with him, you could retire your opponent's whole entire board. And when you swing with this guy and your other guys, your opponent will be using up some very important resources just to block off your attacks. And yeah, after I stride into him, within a few turns or so, I'll just stride into the Ace. And after the heavy work that this guy has done, the Ace will almost guarantee me to finish off the game. And yeah, that's why I like doing what I do right here. So yeah, Ace and Zahm and then the Ace, heavy duty combo. So yeah, Dragoons, that right there was my Kagero DOTX The Ace deck profile. Now, I really like this build right here. It's a very functional build. It's been allowing me to do a lot of big, huge, heavy-duty plays, while still allowing me to do, well, a lot of improvements I've been lacking onto for the longest time with this deck up till recently. And ever since this recent build right here, I've been having a lot more better success at my locals, with Lilo, and playing Vanguard in general with this deck right here. So, yeah, I really enjoy this deck right here, and after this video right here, we'll be taking a break from this deck for a little bit and move on to other Vanguard deck profiles for a while. And with that being said, let me know what Dragoons think about this deck profile in the comment section down below. And I will see Dragoons around. Hope you Dragoons enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a favorite if you did, and share this video to other people. It really helps me out a lot. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Subscribe today. Become part of the Dragon Legion Alliance. And I'll see you Dragoons another day. Christian Dragoon, signing out. Peace.